YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back. Today I got my safety rankings for the 2022 NFL Draft. We're through all the position rankings now. We got a playlist full of them. You'll find a link to that down in the comments section. Gonna get at least one more mock draft out, maybe two. We'll have a final mock draft probably the day of the NFL Draft. We'll have some other content leading up to the draft, during the draft, and after the draft. So make sure you join us, like, subscribe to notifications on, follow our Twitter. For some live updates during day 2 and 3 of the draft. Day 1 will be right here live on YouTube, so join us. Be much appreciated. Safeties, interesting group. Let's take a look at the superlatives. Day 1 impact, got to go Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame, who's the clear-cut top safety in the class. Most upside, you also got to go Kyle Hamilton. I think he has that upside of being maybe a future number 1 safety in football. Most versatile, I'm going to go Daxton Hill. You know, I see other people putting other safeties as the most versatile. I'm just going to disagree. I'm going to go Daxton Hill here because if you watch him play, he dominates the slot area, but he'll have some reps at free safety where he looks pretty solid. But you look at his ability and, you know, where his skill set is with his stickiness and coverage, his footwork, his change of direction, his movement, and just how smart he is. It really feels like he can play, in a way he does kind of play corner already, slot corner, but it really looks like he can play outside corner as well. So I view him as a guy that could potentially get reps, as a strong / slot guy, free safety, and outside corner. Best free safety, I'm going to go Kyle Hamilton, mainly a free, but he also can come up in the box slot area. Best strong, I'm going to go Jaquan Brisker, who's kind of that strong / box safety. Some of these other guys are kind of, they're more of nickel players. So I'm going to go Brisker as the best strong. Best ball skills, go Kerby Joseph. Looks like a natural attacking the ball out there using his range at the free safety position. Best versus run, Cine, which is interesting because he's a free safety, but kind of looks like a potential strong safety option here. But the way he attacks downhill against the run, the hits that he makes, the tackles that he makes, he's very efficient as well. I think that puts him at the top of that category. Best blitzer, Jalen Pitre from Baylor. Used to be a linebacker, plays around the line of scrimmage a lot, and he'll blitz, pretty effective at it. Another Baylor guy, underrated, JT Woods. I think he's kind of getting swept under the radar a little bit here. He's a very good playmaker on the back end, really good ball skills, so just not really getting talked about a whole lot. Sleeper will go Smoke Monday from Auburn, who... Yeah, Auburn I think that kind of hurt him a little bit that they used him all over the place because I think he's just strictly a free safety. He looks pretty good at that position as a playmaker there. But on to the rankings. Number 1, pretty obvious one here with an elite grade of Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame. 6'4", 220. It's a big safety. Do not see that type of safety. Just absolutely rare. Elite range, length, and ball skills. Instincts as well. Reacts quickly. You talk about maybe what his negative is. He isn't super quick. And people kind of criticizing his 40-yard dash, but you look at the first 10, 20 yards, it's not overly impressive. The back end of it is impressive. He's speedy. He's got that long speed. We see it on tape, but he reacts so quickly, has those instincts that it kind of makes up for that maybe a somewhat of a lack of quickness. But I view him as a free safety, with the ability to play in a slot in the box, which he was very good when playing there, but kind of in those crucial situations where it's 3rd or 4th down and short, or maybe 5 yards to go. It's just Notre Dame takes their best player and they put him in the most important spot. And then we saw Notre Dame without him during the second half of the year. And it was night and day difference of the defense. So just a rare type of player. Just kind of circling back and watching him again to prepare for the safety rankings video and just remembering how good he is. And it just feels like this type of safety prospect really doesn't exist. I think you see a little bit of Justin Simmons in there, but just a total rare type of player. Equally effective against the pass and the run. Hasn't played since mid-season. He didn't work out. I guess we shouldn't say that because he worked out pretty well when it comes to the explosive drills, which is actually more important, the pass shows for safeties, looking at verticals, broad jumps. So but people a little underwhelmed with the speed, quickness maybe. And I guess the concern is we haven't seen him play since the injury. So is that kind of a new him? I guess that maybe that could be a little bit of concern. Definitely more fast and quick. Not too many major negatives here. Somebody's going to get a really good starting safety. I'd like him more so. Well, I think, cover 4, 3, 2, any of those zone schemes there. I'd like him there. And then, team move him up in the box area or to man up if you want to run man coverage, man up on a guy in a slot, tight end, something like that. Number 2, we're going to go Daxton Hill, who we really could categorize with the corners if we wanted to, really. But the Michigan DB is very fun to watch. Versatile with elite quickness, footwork, and change direction. You watch his footwork and the way how smooth he moves. That's kind of where, and he keeps the receiver in front of him, squared up with him. It just gives you corner vibes. Like, I think this guy, with his length, he doesn't have the greatest frame and size, but the length is definitely there. So all that combined, I feel like he could play outside corner, and I think he'd be easily be a first-round pick if that's what we were only considering under, and we're not, though. We're considering him under multiple different positions. So that's very impressive as well. So there could be teams that drafted him may go on draft night. I think they're going to play him at corner. There might be a team that drafts him like, they'll play him slot. Maybe they'll move him to free. There might be a team that does all the above there. So very intriguing player. I like that he has reps at free. Looked pretty good there. Just really good job kind of reading the quarterback, understanding the play, attacking the ball. Definitely has a thin frame, though. Not super physical. Does have some good plays flying up, making a play on the ball. But some teams may just view him as a slot corner, so not every team will value that extremely high. So, yeah, I guess where do you take him then in the draft? But extremely talented there. 2 and 3. To me, the top 3 are people will disagree, but to me, the top 3 are, I think, clear cut. They're clear cut. 2 and 3 pretty close to me. I like Cine from Georgia, right there with Daxton Hill, even though they're a lot different type of prospects here. 6'2", 202. He's got a good. He's a little lean, but he's got a good, kind of has a good muscular build to him as well. Rangy and violent. That shows up, especially when attacking downhill. So not too many free safeties really stand out attacking downhill. I think Cine definitely does. I think he has that ability to play strong. You kind of can see that when he wasn't around the box a lot, but when he is, or when he's attacking downhill, or when he's supporting in the run, or when he's covering underneath, he impresses. So I think he has that ability to kind of play either safety spot. He's a very explosive athlete. Again, that kind of shows when using his range, kind of sideline to sideline attacking downhill. Free safety that is lacking some ball skills. He has that range, but he's kind of got to put it together, attack the ball a little better, take the ball away. Doesn't really have that. So some teams like, we'd rather have more ball skills with our free safety. Do we like him at strong? He's better when attacking, when starting further back. So we really like him at strong. So maybe some may view him as a kind of risky there because he doesn't have a load of experience at the strong safety or in the box, but he kind of has that play style where you think it could fit. So it's not for everyone. I guess, you could argue he could fit free or strong, so he could be for everyone, but, some teams will like him, where he's played at free. Some will be like, he doesn't have the ball skills to play there. Can he play strong? Doesn't really have the experience. Are we confident with him there? So some may question a little bit. He's got first-round talent, though. He's just, wish he can get his hands on the ball a little bit more. Number 4, I'm going to go Jaquan Brisker, who is kind of a tough evaluation here, but he's definitely growing on me. 6'1", 206. Another thing I really like that he weighed in at 206 at his pro day. Combine, I believe he was 198. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good weight there. Short amount of time. So he means business. He's heading on the right track because he absolutely needed to put on that weight. Would like him to put on a little bit more weight as well. So I do like that, though, that he's heading in the right direction there. We'll talk about why that weight's important, but it's a very instinctive box safety to me. And it's strong safety, play in the box, play almost like a weak side linebacker role. But very instinctive, kind of reacts to the ball very well, knows where it's heading, can get across field pretty well if he needs to. He's a good athlete. I think equally effective against the pass and the run. See him how well he does in coverage. He'll get in the backfield. Pretty efficient tackler. He won't have like the flashiest tackles. Sometimes he hesitates a little bit. That's kind of a negative. Sometimes he'll let up a little bit before he's about to make a play. But he still is for the most part a sure tackler. Smart, well-disciplined, very good at fighting off blocks. I think he's a great athlete. Just kind of, how these guys, like a Jeremy Chin. He's not built like him. He's not going to be as good as Jeremy Chin, but could be used kind of like that, which is kind of more popular in today's NFL. I think his best play is kind of near the line of scrimmage, whether it's, attacking the run or even, being in coverage from starting there is pretty impressive. But some teams won't want to use him there because, he's a little on the lighter side, but he is gaining weight. Kind of felt like more like a weak side linebacker at times. And some teams may go like this play style is, weak side linebacker, but are we really going to play him there? We'd rather just go get that linebacker, a little undersized for that position. So that's the tricky part. That's why he's kind of a tough evaluation there. He does have experience, good experience in coverage downfield as well, though. Not super explosive like I mentioned a little bit ago. He lets up a bit. Like, he'll still make plays, but he'll kind of let up a little bit when attacking the ball, but most times still makes the play. But a unique player here. I like the instinctiveness around the box. Could kind of be that pre-snap problem for teams. But yeah, needed to put on a little bit of weight to continue to play there where he thrives, and he's starting to do that a little bit, like in round 2. Number 5, we're going to go Jalen Pitre. Fun player to watch. Maybe getting a little bit too much hype at this point, though. I think some people talking round 1. I would not agree with that, really, because he's such a unique, scheme-specific type player. I think there's only going to be really only a handful of teams that kind of view him as a fit, so they really can wait. There's not too many teams challenging him to take him. So it's definitely a unique type player. Slot/box type of defender who's always around the ball. That's where he kind of stands out. If you watch kind of his highlight moments, he's definitely standing out big time, kind of wow moments. Very good blitzer. Can tell he's a former linebacker, which obviously used to play that at Baylor when he first was there, because the way he attacks downhill, the way he blitzed, the way he shows his toughness, the way he can tackle. Very productive. He's pretty good covering from the slot as well. Lacking some size, the build, the height, which I'm not worried about too much. Just definitely feels scheme specific. Kind of played that star role for Baylor, which is popular in college. Just a unique role that's just not going to fit a whole lot of teams. And again, most of it, that's a tough part. Best moments are kind of around the line of scrimmage, which our NFL teams, even if he fits, our NFL team's going to use him that much around the line of scrimmage, weighing 198 pounds. So that's kind of the thing there. He is tough, very tough. But yeah, could end up being a slot corner, which he's pretty good at. So, some people see him at, safety in the back end, which he had some reps there, looked solid there. So I guess you like the versatility a little bit there, but just kind of view him as a slot guy who's talented around the line of scrimmage, which teams will actually use him there. So he's a tricky one. He's definitely a tricky one here. I like him more in maybe the back end of the second round. Then 6 through 10, Kerby Joseph from Illinois. Another tricky evaluation. Not really the evaluation, but I guess it's a little risky because, not so much the evaluation, because you know what he is. He's a free safety. He's got some freaky length. The wingspan's ridiculous. He has the range to get sideline to sideline. You kind of think he has that single high ability, which is pretty hard to do. And he has fantastic ball skills. He can make a play on the ball. He can go up and get it. So you can see he's a free safety, strictly a free safety that can make a play on the ball. And you like that. You like those playmakers. But it's a little tricky because, it took until the 4th year for him to get on the field. Like, he was pretty talented this year. Like, what was going on, during that time? There was like a move to receiver. Do we move him to receiver at one point? So that's a little weird. Usually those players don't really work out, but there's very good traits, and there's just so much talent to work with, that so much playmaking ability that I like him. I like him. It's a guy you would want to work with for sure. So we'll see where he ends up there. Definitely will be a free safety. Bryan Cook, who I like as well, a strong safety from Cincinnati, could also kind of play that split safety role, kind of a cover 2 scheme where neither's the free or strong. Kind of covering half the field. He's pretty good at that as well. Solid around the box, physical, could come up and tackle. Probably one of the better tacklers of the safety class there. Former corner, so you'd think, having that experience is good. And so he has upside with more safety reps as well. Just not super flashy, I guess. 1-year starter at safety. The Cincinnati had 2 guys starting over him last year, which looked really good on tape, but they ended up being kind of way later guys. Are they going to get in the field in their NFL careers? Doesn't really look like it. So is it a scheme thing? Looking at those corners that played in front of him. Doesn't have the greatest ball skills if he's playing more on the back end. Nick Cross from Maryland at 8. Definitely like him at free safety. Does have reps at strong, though. Definitely an elite athlete, great range. I like the free safeties that can kind of get downhill and make a play on the ball if it's already on the ground, caught. There's a ball carrier present. I like that. That really stands out. He is a little inconsistent. Kind of have the flashy moments and like the pretty bad moments. He'll definitely bite on some double moves, and that's probably why he wasn't full-time free safety. Because he can come downhill and hit too. So use him at strong. We don't want him in coverage deep in coverage every single play. So, yeah, a lot of these safeties are a little tricky. Where do we take them? They're not going to fit everyone. JT Woods from Baylor next. Another elite athlete, big-time playmaker. See him jumping routes all the time. He's just, has those ball skills. He's pretty lengthy as well. Very thin frame. You see him fly up and miss tackles all the time due to he just kind of wants to throw himself at the ankles due to not having the biggest frame build. Then Dayton Belton from Iowa, I put at 10. Like him at strong safety, kind of in the slot. Probably similar to maybe more, not as good of a prospect to former Iowa, strong safety Amani Hooker, who's with the Titans. Very good in zone, which is kind of we're used to with the Iowa guys. Just not much of a man guy. Man DB, really, and could improve his tackling, not a major weakness. Just kind of will be very scheme specific. Their zone team will kind of play strong safety in the slash slot, one of those types of guys. Just kind of typical what's coming out of Iowa, but a talented player there. Impressive testing numbers, was a little more impressive than expected there. So it's my top 10 safeties. Definitely a unique class. I really think, and there's a lot of people saying there's 4 or 5 guys, all together. I think everyone agrees Kyle Hamilton splits himself up, but I really think it's a top 3 situation. Then there's some good guys down here. Kerby Joseph I like. It's just maybe a little bit of a risky one there as well. But that wraps up all the position rankings. We have a playlist full of all those position ranking videos. Still got a big board that's going to come out. My guys video that's going to come out. Got mock draft. A couple other videos I want to try to get to. And it all starts Thursday night. We'll be live during night 1 of the NFL draft, and we'll have much more content throughout it. So join us, like, subscribe, turn notifications on, follow us on Twitter. It's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.